What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to do a little bit different video. About once a year, I try to go through all of the products that we sell on DylanTalksTone.com and sort of update them. So we make pickups here. If you're finding this channel for the very first time, that's what we do. We have guitar videos all throughout the week talking about guitar stuff. But our real job is we make pickups. And so I'm going to show you section by section. And what I do is I take these videos and I put them on the website on the various pickup collections so that people can kind of stay up to date on what we're making. So the 2025 lineup it looks basically like this. Let me just go ahead and put my head in a box. There we go. Okay, so you go to DylanTalksTone.com, come right up here to Humbuckers. And yeah, that's last year's video. So we've got humbuckers here. We're going to go through them. I'll tell you what, let's do least popular to most. How about that? We have Firebird pickups. These are like a vintage style Firebird pickup. Now the difference between a Firebird pickup and a mini humbucker is that these are 2 bar magnets. Okay. Instead of a regular mini humbucker it's just a small humbucker. These things are awesome. What I like to use them for is like the neck position of a Telecaster. They're super fun. So yeah, those are super cool, super self-explanatory. I think we have them in nickel and in gold. And if you want something custom engraved on those, get with me and we can do that too. Then next we have our Slant 6 humbucker for guitar. And these ones are the same. You can get custom engraving on this stuff if you want. Just get in the chat and ask, tell me what you want. These are pretty neat. These are, I hesitate to say these are our version of a wide range because they're not. They're sort of different. These are really interesting. They only have 3 slugs on each coil. And so even though it's a humbucker, it basically sounds like a single coil, even more than a wide range humbucker. Now, the trick is these fit in a regular humbucker slot. So you don't have to worry about having that weird route. You can have a single coil sound in a humbucker slot that still hum cancels. Super cool. Do we have a video on this one? We don't. Yeah, these are pretty neat. Pretty neat pickups. They are about 8.2. I think they're between 7. Oh, here it is, 7.8K. And they're Alnico 5. And yeah, super neat. Really good for clean tones, especially. The opposite of really good for clean tones is these guys right here are Dylan Talks Tone Quattro humbuckers. These are a double blade 4 magnet humbucker. There's 2 little ceramic magnets on each coil. They are gnarly. They are in the realm of about 10K or a little more. The cool thing about them is they hit an amp really, really hard, but they still clean up. These are wildly dynamic. When somebody says, I don't like EMGs, but I want something high output, but I want it to be more expressive, this is where I send you. These things are super cool. But they're smaller audience, obviously, because they're very, very hot. But I think you'll really like them. Really, really fun. Let's see. Next, we've got our 8-ball. Okay, so I want to talk about these 2 together. Our 8-ball humbucker and our center punch humbucker. This one here, the 8-ball right there. Yep. And our center punch right here. Okay. These are wound in such a way that you can coil split them and there is no volume drop. I believe there should be a video somewhere. They're all over the place actually. We demo these a lot. Basically the way it works is the way we wind the coils. It is about a 9K humbucker. Okay. And it's an Alnico 5 magnet in the center punch. And when you coil split it, it doesn't volume drop. It's really, really cool. And when you use it as a full humbucker, it's real, well, it's called the center punch because it's got a good mid-range poke to it. And I'm going to say, well, it'll do just about anything, but I'm going to say Angus Young. If you want to sound like Angus Young, this will get you right here. Now, one of the things we added this year is obviously we have the black and the cream black and the nickel covers. But we've added as a whole thing, the clear bobbins, white bobbins, and then also a bunch of different colors that we do. I don't know why these colors aren't coming up. In acrylic. I'll show them to you here in just a second. So they're available in a bunch of cool custom colors. Our Thruxton, okay, so the difference between the 8-ball humbucker and the center punch humbucker is the center punch is a Alnico 5 and the 8-ball is a ceramic magnet. Now, my opinion is I would put center punches in everything. We make them to match. They sound awesome together, but if you want a little more edge, the 8-ball is pretty cool. Okay, but it still does the coil splitty thing like the center punch does. It's just a little hotter. When somebody says, I have a JB and a Jazz and they're a little muddy for me, I'd like a little bit more clarity, I send you straight to center punch. And I don't think anybody that's ever bought a center punch from us to replace a JB and a Jazz has been unhappy with it. So that's kind of where we go with that. The Thruxton Alnico 2 humbucker, this guy right here is sort of, if you want to say that's my slash right here. I really, really love this pickup. I have this in my Les Paul, and it is phenomenal. It's 8.2K, Alnico 2 magnet, and this guy right here is probably one of my favorite pickups of all time. These next three are really my favorites. So this is going to be a little hotter than a PAF, like a vintage PAF, but that Alnico 2 magnet, man, it does a thing. I think you're going to really like it. Okay, this is something we need to talk about because people ask me about this all the time. So we've got the Greeny Out of Phase DAF. So our DAFs are our PAF clone. Okay, they're about 7.6K Alnico 5. They're done the vintage way, except they are done with modern materials like we do with everything else. The Greeny Out of Phase DAF humbucker, all it is we flip the magnet in the neck. Okay. So if you want a normal PAF, just buy our regular DAF that we'll get to in a minute. Really, this Greeny Out of Phase deal should really only be sold, and maybe I'm going to change it to that, really should only be sold as a set and bought as a set, because the fact that one is flipped and the other one is not is the reason it works. Okay, so if you want that Peter Green Out of Phase in the middle, buy a set of these. Don't just buy one. Unless you already have another pickup that you're sure is going to be out of phase with it, but that's tricky. So I would say put this together in a set. Let's see. Our Super 8 humbucker is probably my favorite humbucker at this point. This is based on our DAF, which is our PAF clone, 7.6K, Alnico 5, but the Super 8 is Alnico 8. So vintage wind, little more magnet, and it is fun. I'll tell you where I like to put this. I like to put this in a bridge position of a single hum strat. That's my favorite. Well, I like doing it in a lot of stuff, but I love that. So you take a couple of our Hot 5 single coils and you take one of these and put it in the bridge, and man, it's awesome. Everything matches. It's great volume across everything. It's really, really cool. But if you just want a vintage wound humbucker with all that clarity and everything, but just a little more, this is the move. These things are awesome. I absolutely love them. They're my favorite right now. And then this comes back to our DAF. Now, our DAFs are cool because these are our PAF clone. This is what we do. This is they're 7.6K A5, kind of done the way the old ones were done. They come, most of these, most of them come with braided wire anyway, but these are all, super, super cool. This is probably our most popular. This and our center punch are our most popular pickups. We sell the most of them. One of the things we did add to this, because people sometimes want a super vintage look to their guitar, is so we got neck and bridge, and then we've got all these colors. Okay, the various colors, and I'm pretty sure if you see this on your computer that you will see the various tortoiseshell and gold tort and all that colors, black pearl, all that stuff that's in here. But you see this where it says Dylan branding right here. You can choose now you have to pay for it, but you can choose not to have the name engraved on the top, because sometimes people really want a super vintage correct look. And so we've added that now. So you can buy that option. So there you go. That is pretty much our humbucker lineup for 2025. If you have any questions about this stuff, if this is something that you are curious about, if you need to have a couple more little questions answered, you can go to DylanTalksTone.com. You can actually, if you're watching on a TV, you can scan that little thing right there. It'll take you straight there. And it will, there's a little chat thing down in the bottom. Send me a chat and say, hey, will this pickup work with this one? You know, whatever. If you have any more product questions, please be patient with me, because that actually comes to my phone and it's just me. So if I don't get to you right away, I will. I'll do my best, and we'll try to get you sorted out, helped out, and get you some cool new humbuckers. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. I know this is not one of our normal videos, but I want to keep you up to date, and we will see you in the next video. Hit the subscribe button and the like button, and then there's Patreon and all that stuff is right there too. We'll see you later.